Matrix Algebra. For the following exercises, use the matrices below to perform the indicated operation if possible. If not possible, explain why the operations cannot be performed. We're going to do numbers 24, 25, and 26. So for 26, it says A plus B minus C. So what that means is we're going to take matrix A, matrix B, and matrix C and actually add A and B together and subtract C from that. So matrix A is 2, negative 5, 6, 7. And then it says plus B, which is, and to add and subtract, we're just going to go from the left to the right. So we're just going to add these first. And to add these, I'm just going to take component by component. And what I mean by that is first row, first entry, and first row, first entry, and add those together. So then for the first one then, I'm looking at 2 plus a negative 9, which is going to be negative 7. And then I'm going to look at negative 5 plus plus 6, and that's going to be 1. And then I'm going to look at 6 plus negative 4, and that's going to be a 2. And then I'm going to look at 7 plus 2, and that's going to be 9. So these are very straightforward to do. Now I have to subtract C from that. So I take A plus B, and that's what I did so far, and that's the matrix negative 7, 1, 2, 9. And this is what we call a 2 by 2 matrix. That's the dimensions. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to subtract C now. So I take this and now I'm going to subtract C. So I have and 1 minus 9, that's going to be negative 8. And then 2 minus 7, that's going to be negative 5. And then for the last one, 9 minus 1, and that's going to be 8. So there's the answer for the first one then. So the answer for 24 is negative 7, negative 8, negative 5, and 8. So now I'm going to erase this and do the next one. Now for the next one is going to be 4a plus 5d. So I'm going to take 4a. So that means I'm going to take my a here, put a 4 here. And then when I times that 4 by a, that means every entry is going to be multiplied by 4. So I'm going to get 8, negative 40, 24, and 28. So that's 4a. So if I wanted to write that out, I would say that that's 4a. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the d there. We got to do 5d, and that's what the second piece is. And that's going to be negative 40, 35, and negative 25, and then 20, 15, 10, 0, 45, and 10. So there's 5d there. So that's what that equals. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of those, and it says add them. So I'm going to take those two matrices and now add them together. But I have a problem here because the first entry is okay with the first entry. The second entry is okay with the second entry, but I have nothing for this third entry here in the top row. So that tells me that I won't be able to actually perform this operation. I would have to write not possible by the directions. And how I can explain this is I can simply say that it's a dimension error. And that would be a good explanation for this because remember, if I'm going to add these together, for every entry, there has to be a corresponding entry that I'm going to add or subtract. So therefore, this tells me right away that it's not possible. So it's a dimension error. So that's all I have to write for this one. Not possible, it's a dimension error. So then for the third one, which is 26 there, and I wrote 26 for the first one, and it was supposed to be 24. But anyways, for the real 26, I'm going to write my 2 down here. So I'm going to do my 2C first. So 2, and then C is 0971. And then it's going to be plus my B here, which is going to be -9, 6, -4, and 2. Let me fix my 6 there. Okay, that looks a little better. So then for the first one, I'm going to get 0, 18, and 2. So there's the 2C now, plus, and then I have the -9, 6, -4, and 2, and then I'm just going to add those together now. So I'm going to get -9, 24, 10, and 4. So there's the final answer for the third one. So there's our 3 answers for the matrix algebra. So we dealt with a few where we can actually do the operations, one that wasn't possible. Okay, so there it is.